world of progressive rock is vast and full of surprises. While the British scene is widely celebrated, many other nations have contributed immensely to the genre with unique and unforgettable sounds, often flying under the radar. Join us for an immersion into the diversity and musical genius that has flourished around the globe. Beyond British prog rock, 10 gems scattered across the world. ANGE. Theater, poetry, and revolution. ANGE's sound echoes like a medieval cry amidst modern chaos. Founded by brothers Christian and Francis Decon, the French group brought a unique theatricality to progressive rock, with philosophical, sarcastic, and symbolism-laden lyrics. Tracks like Cimetière des Alcantes and Fils de Lumière feature drama, fantasy, and biting social commentary. The almost spoken vocals and unpredictable arrangements create an immediately recognizable sonic identity. Despite their immense success in France in the 70s, ANGE never achieved the same international recognition as their British contemporaries. Still, their influence is profound among discerning fans of European prog. The album Au-delà du délire is a landmark in their discography, a work that invites total immersion. Listening to ANGE is like participating in a progressive play in constant mutation, a sonic spectacle that defies rules and expectations. HARMONIUM. 3 albums, an eternity. HARMONIUM's sound is pure contemplation. Hailing from a French-speaking heart of Canada, the group led by Serge Fiori elevated progressive folk to levels of almost spiritual beauty. Si on avait besoin d'une 5e saison is a conceptual album representing a 5th season, a metaphor for a heightened state of consciousness, framed by gentle flute arrangements, mellotron, and crystalline acoustic guitars. Despite their short career, HARMONIUM's impact is lasting. They are remembered with affection and reverence by those who discovered their music as one might find a hidden relic. Their albums are perfect for moments of introspection and connection with nature. It's progressive, yes, but above all, it's human, serene, and profound. A Canadian gem that still awaits wider celebration. SHINGETSU. With only one self-titled album released in 1979, SHINGETSU left an eternal mark on the Japanese progressive scene. Makoto Kitayama's deep and expressive voice, often compared to Peter Gabriel's, lead songs filled with melancholy, beauty, and contemplation. The compositions are sophisticated, featuring atmospheric keyboards, delicate guitars, and structures that resemble a painting more than a conventional song. The band's name, meaning new moon, perfectly reflects their proposal, a nocturnal, subtle, and mysterious sound. SHINGETSU is a kind of band that reveals itself gradually, like an ancient secret kept in the shadows. Though they released only one studio album, their cult impact is undeniable, a solitary jewel that shines brightly in the universe of Oriental prog. HOELDERLIN. Inspired by the Romantic poet Friedrich Hölderlin, HOELDERLIN bridges the lyricism of German literature and the vanguard of progressive rock. They began with psychedelic folk in German, but soon delved into the symphonic universe with rich arrangements and varied moods. Also started to sing in English, Clowns and Clouds and Rare Birds are albums that combine elegance and daring, with atmospheres oscillating between the bucolic and the cosmic. Despite not having the fame of bands like Eloy or Grobschnitt, HOELDERLIN created an unmistakable sound where emotion speaks louder than technique. Their albums are like sonic diaries of intense feelings and inner landscapes. They are a band to be discovered gradually and to be remembered as one of the most beautiful secrets of the German progressive scene. Asia Minor. Asia Minor is a rare and fascinating fusion of West and East. Formed by Turkish musicians based in France, the band brought a distinct Mediterranean flavor to progressive rock. Lyrical flutes, crystalline guitars, and complex structures define their albums, crossing the line and between flesh and divine. Their music is elegant and enigmatic, with a delicate balance between European sophistication and the melodic heritage of the Middle East. Few bands have managed to be so singular within the genre. Asia Minor shows that progressive music doesn't belong to one geography, but to a global artistic sensibility. Their albums sound timeless, as if they exist outside of time, in a space of their own. It's a sonic experience that crosses cultures and builds invisible bridges between worlds. Don't miss this. Check out this list of 10 fundamental bands for anyone who wants to dive deeper into Italian progressive rock. Click on the card appearing at the top of your screen. TERÇO. An absolute pioneer in Brazilian Prague, TERÇO is a synthesis between the lyricism of the Clube da Esquina and the sonic ambition of great symphonic bands. With Criaturas da Noite, they reached the peak of their creativity, uniting orchestral arrangements, powerful riffs, and deeply poetic lyrics. The album is often considered one of the best Brazilian rock albums, and rightly so. Vira poeira, vira fogueira, vira poeira. The band had various lineups and phases, but always maintained a commitment to refined musicality. They incorporated elements of Brazilian music without losing their progressive identity. In a country dominated by other rhythms, TERÇO is a sonic miracle that shows how Brazil also holds its place in the pantheon of global progressive rock. NOVALIS. With a strong influence from Romantic literature, NOVALIS presents a very melodic and emotional symphonic progressive rock. On albums like Sommerabend and Bandung, they created introspective atmospheres with long instrumental passages, German lyrics, and an almost pastoral aura. They proudly use their native language, which lent authenticity to their art. NOVALIS' music is like a stroll through misty fields at dawn, serene yet charged with latent intensity. It's a band that moves without needing technical excesses. Their work is an invitation to contemplation and deserves to be rediscovered by all who seek beauty and depth in progressive rock. TRIANA. TRIANA invented Andalusian rock, blending the passion contained in Spanish music with the freedom of progressive rock. The trio from Seville created powerful works like El Patio and Hijos del Agobio, where electric guitars and flamenco elements coexist in harmony. Jesus de la Rosa's emotion-laden voice gives life to lyrics that speak of pain, hope, and identity. During a turbulent period in Spanish history, especially during the post-Franco transition, their music was a poetic cry for change and remembrance. TRIANA is a cultural symbol, not just a band. Their influence spans decades, and their originality remains unquestionable. A sound born from the South, yet resonating with all who feel music with their heart. SBB. In 1970s Poland, under heavy censorship and repression, the trio SBB emerged as a breath of creative freedom. Their music is visceral, improvisational, and deeply technical, blending progressive rock, jazz fusion, and classical music. Albums like Nowy Horyzont and Ze Słowem Biegnę do Ciebie are impressive demonstrations of skill and emotion. With Józef Skrzek on keyboard and vocals, Apostolis Antimos on guitar, and Jerzy Piotrowski on drums, the group overcame political and cultural barriers to become a benchmark for Eastern European prog. Listening to SBB is witnessing raw and refined musical power simultaneously. It's revolution in the form of sound. SERÚ GIRÁN. SERÚ GIRÁN is more than a band. It's an essential chapter in Latin American music, formed by Charly Garcia, Pedro Aznar, David Lebón, and Oscar Moro. The group combined progressive rock with elements of jazz rock, symphonic music, and elements of the rich Argentine musical tradition. Their album, La Grasa de las Capitales, is a biting critique of the era's cultural superficiality, wrapped in complex arrangements, elaborate vocals, and rich harmonies that challenge the limits of traditional rock. SERÚ GIRÁN's sound is sophisticated, yet deeply emotional. Refined technique, striking melodies and lyrics with strong social and existential content made them a cultural phenomenon in Argentina. They proved that progressive music could engage with popular sentiment without sacrificing musical complexity. A true Latin pride that continues to move and inspire new generations. We hope this journey has revealed new sonic worlds and shown that the genius of progressive rock truly knows no boundaries. Now it's up to you. Dive deep into these bands and discover the musical landscapes they offer. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and share it with friends who also love great music. See you soon.